after waiting for 2 hours, now getting 2 minutes, I'll get right to the point. This board is pretending that for the last 3 months, your emperor, Dr. Levin, has not been against a mask declaration. Now all of a sudden, we're pretending that masks are everything, even forcing speakers to use masks. I would like the board to take a position. Was Dr. Levin wrong for those 3 months? And if he was this wrong, why has he not been removed? Why has he not been fired for being so catastrophically wrong? Or do you not really believe he was wrong? You're just wearing these masks because it is a signal of your great virtue. Damn! Because for the last 3 months, we have not worn them, and Ventura County has done outstandingly well and continues to do outstandingly well because we are not Los Angeles, we are not New York City, we never were going to be any of those things. Ironically, this is one of the few things Dr. Levin was actually right about. He has been wrong about everything. He is the one who told us we would have 400 to 600 hospitalizations a day. He revised that to 200 to 400 a day. We still haven't reached that in 1 day. We're barely over 200 for the entire ordeal that you guys have put us through. We now are panicked over 51 total hospitalizations in a county with 8 hospitals. Can you people do math? Can you please do basic math and understand where we are on this? This is not a crisis. You, however, have created one. You, in an effort to try to prevent all death, we've had 43 deaths, have now ended all relevant life. And you should all be ashamed of yourselves. And this will never be forgotten. Ever be forgotten. You will all be held accountable eventually. In this life or the next. You all better hope there is no hell, because when you die, that's where you're going. And guess what? You're not going to be dying of COVID either. Thank you.
How many other people out there feel like that man in California? I think a lot of people. The silent majority has got to stop being silent. It is time for no masks. People need to end this mask fiasco, charade, this absolute just mind control game that has just been pushed from the top or whoever down, not even the top, from the side over all of us. We've let these medical people and these Gateses just come in and destroy our way of life right as the point when it had really reached a beautiful peak of greatness for a lot of people. Everyone kind of was being very successful. Everyone was becoming united again and getting ready, and then this year just turned into a disaster because of an election. And what are they doing? Is this some kind of ritual for them? Is this like their time to kind of have us be a little subordinate on a global scale while they do their games? They love their masks. Stanley was telling us so much with this movie in so many different ways. He just left an absolute treasure. Kubrick, God, he's the best. But this is what the world is becoming. Everywhere you go, you can't see people's emotions. You can't tell what people are really thinking. You can't fully interact with people. I mean, fortunately, the places that I go, that I have to wear a mask, I have a nice little cloth that is actually kind of cool, of my wife's. So it actually isn't terrible, but I only rush it through those places, like the grocery store, and just to get it over with. I don't breathe through my mouth during it. I end up with just even for 5 minutes feeling terrible. These masks are so dumb. I'm looking around at everyone obeying. I just want to take it off and scream. In every store I envision what it would be like how you could exist in a store and get people to take it off in a way that's beautiful. If I had a pack of you all out there, if we could all just go into places and be like, no, these people are protesting a lot, and it's they're free to do so peacefully, and by taking off a mask we can be very peaceful in our protest, and that should just be it. That's our protest. We're doing it. I don't know what to really totally think about all this, and there's just so many things going out there, and it personally, knock on wood, has been a way. So I don't know what to believe, but I know that if I were to get sick, it wouldn't be because I didn't wear a mask. It absolutely would not be. It just happens. I've been sick my whole life. Everyone's been sick before. It happens from time to time. And every time I go on vacation, I end up getting a little bit sick from a plane or something. And whatever, it happens. It always happened before. It was never just something like this that they just all of a sudden an entire industry is just ramming a lot of stuff down everyone's throat to the point where reality has been decimated. And it's just obnoxious. Fortunately, walking down the street is still okay. Being in nature is always a beautiful way to not wear a mask. Never in a car, it's only when I'm forced to, and I take it off right after I've bought the goods, and then because then they're not going to say anything as I walk out. And I'm just leaving, can't kick me out. But we've got to do something in a peaceful way that just happily makes people be like, let's get back to the way it was. There's something weird going on here with us having to wear these things. It's not a new fashion trend. It's not something cool. It's not something to get used to because of a cold. It's something we need to eradicate. And I think we all should. There's got to be some lawyer who can defend anyone that would ever get in trouble for this. It's got to be against the freedom to do this. And the numbers, the media, how can we trust them? How are we letting these people in the media and these other people we don't elect become the voices of what history is becoming and what the news is? It doesn't make sense. These stories need to disappear from the sphere, and only the true stories need to really be taught about, and this news should be held accountable. You can't go into a building and scream fire and have people trample themselves to death and get away with it. Nor would you ever want to, or should anyone ever want to do that, but that's what these people are doing. They're just constantly crying wolf, making people angry, making people cause destruction, hate different people. It just doesn't make any sense. Why anyone listens to these people? Ugh. CNN, trash. There's a lot of good stuff in between here too. I just picked a bunch of clippings from all over the place that relate to just whatever. Feel free to stop and take a look at any of these things. But just, they have a weird 5% rate with the testing. It's always 5%. I showed those clips at the beginning. There's just a lot of different things that I don't really trust, and whatever. No more masks. Just yesterday I was at the post office and had to go in for a couple of runs, and and every time I went outside I pulled my mask down. But when I was inside, a couple of times I just had to pull the mask outward and just breathe the air. And just the smell of the post office was something that I have had for a very long time. And the post office always very much smells unique, everywhere. Outside, buildings, certain types of buildings, schools always have a certain smell. And those smells are always connected to everything. So much memory is attached to smell. Smells of Florida, a perfect smell. Everywhere I've ever been, always there's a unique smell that can trigger you back to a moment or trigger you back to anything throughout time, transcending time. Smell is unbelievably incredible. And to breathe in your own morning breath and just garbage, whatever you just ate, and anytime you're to have us wear these things where we're missing out on the smells, even of a store. I actually don't mind wearing a mask when going on some of the aisles, the bleacher, just cleaning aisles, or some perfume aisles or something, which we probably would need a mask. But for other places, different things, doctor's office always had a smell. Dentists always had a smell I could trace back immediately. Different anything. They're robbing us and children of that amazing sense and that memory connection that is absolutely essential for a mind, and for a growing mind especially, and different things people. I hope children aren't wearing them outside, because it would just be a sin. The sun can do it all. Face masks are made for sick people, period. They're not made for healthy people. If they are, they're in Halloween costumes and movie masks and different characters and different whatever. It's not for everyday life. It makes sense that a growing number of people are becoming frustrated enough where they're just willing to just go in. You know, if you get sick, whatever. But the way things are going, and the people that are telling us to be afraid, it's just not worth it. It's not worth believing. They have lied so many times. It just doesn't make sense to me how people can continuously believe them. But this new media has to just catch on in an amazing way and push the old one out forever. Push all that stuff out forever. Create a normal that is awakened and is amazing, truly. And the former president cannot hijack the Great Awakening. What they are forcing people and paying people to do is not awakening. It is a pure, just absolute miracle that we're fighting for, and there is absolutely no room for what he believes in there. So I hope we all continue to really just spread to all the people that need us the most during this election, because this puppet candidate cannot win of theirs. He absolutely cannot. We will all be mandated to wear masks everywhere. It will be government. It's just issued everything. Oh, imagine the decimation it would do for generations. So much is at stake once again with an election. I hope he wins, and the final one that just this changes the whole system changes in a way that's just more beautiful, more designed for the benefit of every single person, every single being, all our water, all our air, all our everything, electricity, energy, beauty, culture, music, art, film, medicine, every single thing, education, all gets revitalized and truth spreads in a way that it just never has before. We come out of what's been a multi-generational funk, and get into something great. Hopefully go beyond the poles, discover some new land, tap Greenland. What if Greenland really is just something phenomenal? How many people can actually say that they met anyone that's flown over Greenland to prove that it is just total ice, nothing else? Could be anything, could be a paradise there. Could be so many paradises beyond those militarized zones. Just no doubt about it. Beauty all around us.